Universe has always bestowed more and more blessings on me. So why do I doubt that which gave me life? Why do I doubt that which gave me life? Mind. Mind cannot know death. It knows of death, but it cannot know death. It has seen other people dying. It has heard of death. It has read about death. It sees on TV all the time. But mind is not capable of grasping death. Why? Your mind is made up of your past. Anything that happened in the past is in your mind. Mind has never seen death. It has no experience of death. So mind and death are unknown to each other. But yet the fear of death is all in our mind. Our mind is soaked with whatever we have put in there in the whole lifetime. I'm reminded of a really different story. There used to be this young man who lived in a village, had nothing to his name. One day he said, I can't make a go of this in a village. I'm going to go to the big city. So off to the big city he goes. And he has not much money, has very little money. He has sold everything in the village to come to the village. And he decides that he's going to sell door-to-door stuff. Any stuff that he can find cheap, he'll go door to door trying to sell it. And surely he made a little bit of money, and he was becoming a businessman. Eventually, he felt like he had saved up enough money to open a shop. So he opens a small shop, and he names it after himself. And the shop is open. It's a very small place, but mind you, he was a diligent worker, worked hard, worked day and night, and he worked and worked. And all of a sudden, the shop became popular. And because now he was a business person, he was able to find a good wife. And they ended up having 2 beautiful boys. Business again grew. Next door shop became available. He said, I'll take that one too. He made it into one big shop. 3rd shop came up. All of a sudden, he had a huge shop and he was selling everything and making really good money. This shop had given him his identity. That's what he identified with, that this shop is me. And soon his sons grew up. And soon he changed the name into his name and sons. And now it was him and his sons. But even though he was getting old and he had gotten old, every day he went to the shop. Every day he went to the shop because he loved the shop. Because that shop had given him identity. It had given him money. It had provided for him and all of that. All the time it was all about the shop. He got older and older. And one day, time came that death was knocking. And he is in his deathbed, basically. And the, wifey is around him. They even called the priest. Priest, come and say your last prayers for this man. Looks like this man is going. And the priest comes over, gives him the last rites, and he is about to go. And the mother sends out a message to the shop saying, hey, your father is about to die. Come home and say your last goodbyes to your father. Both sons come home. Father is too old and too weak to open his eyes even. But he looks up because he hears his elder son's voice. And he opens his eyes, and what does he see? He sees his elder son standing on the right side of the bed. Looks to the other side, sees the younger son standing there. All of a sudden, the old man jumps up and sits in the bed. He goes, if you're both here, who's in the shop? Who's in the shop? And then croaks. You see, this man was very close to death. His mind was filled with whatever he had done all of his life. His shop was everything. His shop is all he had in his mind. He did not know that I'm going. Even in the last second, he was thinking of his shop. So whatever we put in our head, that's what death is all about. And most people end up ignoring the subject of death, postponing it. But this is where, if you're a spiritual person and a worldly person, this is where it differentiates. Worldly person says, I'll think about death later. Today I'm fine. But a spiritual person says, now I'll take a look at it. Right now. So much so that the remembrance of death will be part of my life, my daily life. It will give sharpness to my life. It will bring a certain alertness, value. It will bring a value to my waking moments. I won't waste them on things that don't serve me. If you think your life is a journey, then death is your destiny. Try to think of life and death not as they are two separate entities. Try to think of them both as one, life-death combination. Try to think of them as holistically. What do I mean by that? Think of it as a breath. In breath, life. Out breath, death. Life, death. As long as you have breath, you have life. Out breath. But they're together. Your dying breath gives birth to the next in-breath. This is a cycle. This is not life. Ignore death. They're equally important. Not that one is more important than the other. Fear of death dominates human beings. This fear is behind every fear of dying. But it doesn't have to be like that. Look at yourself. When have you ever been made less? When have you ever been made less? Piece of dust I was. From dust I became a plant. Plant this body ate. That plant became this cell right here. All the other things I ate on this earth, which all came from this earth, became this body. From dust to a living organism, thinking, pondering. That's who I have been. When have I ever been made less? Universe has always bestowed more and more blessings on me. So why do I doubt that which gave me life? Why do I doubt that which gave me life? And without asking, what had I done to deserve this life? I don't remember anything. I don't know of anything because I was given life before I existed. Before this mind existed that could ponder, what have I done? It was given to me freely and it gave me this life and the experiences here. Why do I not trust that which gave me life? Trust that the strength you need to face your death will be provided. Allow death to give meaning to your life, to your day-to-day life. Go and seek out, who am I? What am I doing here? Go on a quest. Allow death and the impending doom to send you on a journey, on a quest, to answer your most basic question. Not just to discover it in some book, but to have a genuine experience of who you are. For me, I know from the source I came. Source of all things. This earth and the stars. into the source I will return. From God I came. Into God I will melt back in. From nothingness I came. Into nothingness I will go. This nothingness is not like death. It is a pregnant nothingness. Death eventually is basically the eternal returning to the infinite embrace of God. The infinite embrace of God. I go home. We go home. It is our honeymoon. And if the existence, God, deems it worthy that we must return to learn some other lessons, hallelujah, we'll come back. We'll come back. Death has nothing that you should be afraid of. Death is something that you should be used. It is a natural part of your life. Embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace it.